Lautaro Martinez is one of Europe's hottest goal scorers right now, and the Inter Milan hitman would have joined Chelsea last summer, Team Talk can reveal. The Blues have spent over £1 billion on signings since their change of ownership in 2022, but that drastic overhaul has failed to sort out their problems in front of goal. A number of additional transfer considerations went into the last window, including Inter's World Cup winner Lautaro, yet Chelsea brought in Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal and decided to stick with him and Armando Broja as their two leading men. The gamble has not paid off. Ahead of their match against Fulham on Monday night, Chelsea are averaging less than a goal a game in the Premier League. Only newly promoted Burnley have scored fewer, and plan to go back to market for a premium forward in January, with Ivan Toney among a list of 4 possible options. It can be revealed that in the summer a deal for Martinez, who is the leading scorer in Serie A and netted all the goals in a 4-0 win over Salernitana at the weekend, could have been done. Sources have confirmed that 26-year-old Lautaro has always wanted to play in the Premier League, and the chance to join up with fellow Argentinian Mauricio Pochettino was one of the very few options that could have lured him away from Champions League finalists Inter. He wanted to link up with Pochettino in West London, but Chelsea never followed up their initial interest. Indications from well-placed insiders suggest that they determined he was not the style of striker they were looking for. Since then he has scored 9 times in Serie A with a predatory instinct that would have served him and Chelsea very well in the English top flight. Brentford have increased Ivan Toney's asking price ahead of the January transfer window as Chelsea considers signing the 27-year-old to solve their goal-scoring problems. The England international is set to return to action on January 17 when his ban from football comes to an end. A new goalkeeper could also be considered in January, with Real Madrid looking to make Kepa Arrizabalaga's loan move permanent this season. The Spaniard left Stamford Bridge to join Los Blancos after Thibaut Courtois ruptured his anterior cruciate ligament in preseason. Mauricio Pochettino still faces a huge injury list at Chelsea, with Mykhailo Mudryk among those on the treatment table. The Blues are set to face Blackburn Rovers in the Carabao Cup this evening as they look to progress into the latter stages of the competition. Chelsea have said that Mykhailo Mudryk is still undergoing rehabilitation for the issue that kept him out the West London side's defeat to Brentford at the weekend. The Ukraine international has featured along with 7 other Chelsea stars on the club's injury list ahead of the Carabao Cup last 16 match against Blackburn Rovers. However, Enzo Fernandez, who also missed the weekend's loss to the Bees, is not among those listed and as a result appears in contention to feature. The Blues duo were both ruled out of the Premier League clash due to muscle injuries picked up as late as Friday. Mauricio Pochettino chose to leave the pair out so as not to risk a bigger issue. However, he did not believe the problems to be serious. When asked whether Mudryk will be involved against Tottenham next week, Pochettino responded, "Mykhailo Mudryk maybe. But, Christopher Nkunku, no." Paul Merson has compared Cole Palmer to Arsenal legend Dennis Bergkamp ahead of Chelsea's trip to Tottenham on Monday night. The Blues attacker has been in superb form in recent games as he continues to impress following his £42.5 million move from Manchester City over the summer. Palmer has already played in a number of different positions under Mauricio Pochettino, with his versatility being one of the main reasons Chelsea paid the big fee for him on deadline day, Football.London understands. In the defeat to Brentford last weekend, the 21-year-old was being used in the number 10 role behind Nicholas Jackson. In the first half in particular, Palmer was dazzling at Stamford Bridge, where he continued to find space in between the Bees' defense and midfield. In the second period, however, the visitors seemingly got to grips with Palmer and he was less effective, something Merson referenced when previewing Chelsea's trip to Tottenham on Monday evening. Writing in his Sky Sports column, Merson said, "Chelsea prefer to play against teams who come to have a go. Those that come to Stamford Bridge and sit back, they find it a struggle, but when they face teams who don't give them any space, they've only got Cole Palmer who can break anybody down. He was outstanding the other day, against Brentford. He was like the Dennis Bergkamp of Arsenal for Chelsea, the amount of opportunities he made. In the second half, he ran out of ideas." Palmer has also been used as a false 9 recently, with the former Man City attacker starting there against Arsenal last month. In that game, he scored the opening goal in what was a really convincing performance from the Blues and Palmer on a personal level. Chelsea are hoping that they will not regret making the move for Michael Mudryk following his shaky start to life in the Premier League. Rafael Leao's future at AC Milan is reportedly no longer as certain as it once was. The winger has been heavily linked with a move to Chelsea over the past few years, but ultimately opted to sign a contract extension at the San Siro in the summer, though his new deal does not mean that he won't be on the move in the next 12 months. Leao has been one of the most exciting forwards in Europe over the past few years, scoring 15 goals and assisting 8 in the 2022-23 Serie A campaign. The Portugal international has hit the ground running this season as well, scoring 3 and assisting 8 in 10 appearances. The tricky winger has impressed and showcased why numerous clubs registered an interest in acquiring his services over the summer. Leao decided to snub the approaches though in favor of remaining with Milan, extending his contract until 2028. However, Calciomercato report that the former Lille star may not see out his contract with the club and could leave as early as 2024. It is claimed that his future with Milan is not certain, and his recent public disagreement with manager Stefano Pioli over his substitution has fueled the situation further. Manchester City, Real Madrid, and Manchester United are all said to be monitoring Leao's situation closely, though it would be no surprise if Todd Boehly decides to reignite Chelsea's interest in the 24-year-old following his failed pursuit previously. According to Fabrizio Romano, Leao was the Blues' top target in August 2022, but they were forced to turn their attention to alternative targets after it became clear that striking a deal with Milan would prove difficult. As a result, Chelsea are said to have turned to Michael Mudryk in the following January transfer window as a direct alternative. The Ukraine international has struggled since making the move to the Premier League, scoring just 2 goals in 26 appearances for the Blues. Mudryk has shown glimpses of promise and is starting to look like he could improve under Mauricio Pochettino over the last few weeks, though the 22-year-old must start delivering if he is to ensure that Boehly does not bring in another left winger. Leao could be a viable option at Stamford Bridge given that he is able to play on either wing and as a striker, and the Blues are in desperate need of star quality in the final third.